beginning. Who are you? Who are you? So one of the examples I would use is, let's say you and I, KG, were roommates in college, and we collectively decided that we were going to wake up every single morning at 5 a.m. to go to the gym and push ourselves to our ultimate capacity and potential as a human being. Mm-hmm. And then we'd leave the gym and go into the library and study so hard to prepare ourselves for the exams of the day. Well, if you and I do that, we're accountability partners, but that's not who we really are. Mm-hmm. We're just accommodating one another. But if you wake up every morning, KG, at 5 a.m., regardless if I do or not, and go to the gym and push yourself, and then go to the library and push yourself, regardless if I'm there or not, that's who you really are. That's your true nature. You can surgically remove the stripes from a tiger, and it's still a tiger. In country music, no matter where you go, there you are. It's one of my favorite lyrics. So we begin at the beginning. If you're serious about taking your communication skills to the next level, mm-hmm. and you're kind of shy or afraid to be on a podcast, it's because you don't know what you believe. It's because you don't know who you are. I showed up, we've never met before. I'm like, ask me anything you want because I know who I am and I know what I believe. So we begin at the very beginning. Who are you? You know, the other day I'm walking through I've told this story many times, walking through the mall with one of my buddies and someone bumps into him. And he spilled his cup of coffee on the floor. I said, what happened? He said, I spilled my cup of coffee. I said, no, you didn't. He said, what? I said, you didn't spill your cup of coffee. You spilled what was in your cup. Had you had tea in your cup, you would have spilled tea. Had you had water or orange juice in your cup, you would have spilled water or orange juice. We can only spill what's in our cup. So if you're negative and the economy bumps into you, if you're negative and COVID attacks, if you're negative and a personal relationship goes south, if you're negative and a business person screws you over, if you're negative, what spills out? Anger, resentment, intolerance. I can't believe you did that. Watch where you're going. It's anger. And what do we know when we hold a grudge? If we hold anger, it's like us drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. It's more harmful to us than forgiving the other. But if you're positive and something bumps into you, if you're positive in a personal relationship or financial situation bumps into you and they bump into you, what spills out if you're positive? Forgiveness, love. Man, I've been there before. Yeah, I've taken my pants to the cleaners before. I can do it again. No big deal. Just clean it up.
Wow.
Just get back up and go again. So it's important for us to know who we are. The next process is content creation. There's four places we find our content. Our life experience. Get somebody to interview just about growing up, about life. Mm-hmm. Second, transitional experiences. Going from something to something else. Going from elementary school to middle school to high school to college. Falling in love, falling out of love. Having your heart broken. Breaking someone's heart. Divorce, loss of a loved one, loss of a job. These are transitional experiences. If your parents are in the military, you were forced to move every 2.5 years, so probably you didn't have a lot of close friends because you knew you were going to have to say goodbye pretty soon. Those are transitional experiences. Third source of content are significant emotional events. That's my favorite. We all have them. That's what this podcast really is about. The Code to Winning is about identifying our significant emotional events because those are the moments in our lives where we learn the greatest lessons that change our stars forever. So a significant emotional event, SEE, is an experience that we can measure and actually quantify how we believed, what we thought and believed, and how we behaved before it occurred, and how we now think differently and behave differently because it occurred.
Wow.
So the two operative words are before and because, before and because. So not just a divorce, but a devastating, ugly divorce. My football paralysis, the death of my father, unexpectedly. We all have significant emotional events. And then the fourth source of content are bucket lists. This is all about networking. I hope we can talk about that before we click off the
100%.
Click off the hot button today. But it's about not who do you know, but who knows you. It's about your story, about meeting Michael Bloomberg, about being one of the 40 in the internship program, and you're the only one that got to meet Michael, and how that understanding of the 6 degrees of separation just inspired you to start this podcast and start reaching out to to the Muscle and to the Meltzers of the world. And that's why I'm here, because of a referral. But I'm also a professional speaker because of the 6 degrees of separation, which might be a very quick, interesting story. Anyway, make a bucket list of people you want to meet, places you want to go, experiences you want to share with the world. Well, you've got to have it before you can share it. So what are you going to do about it? And now back to that quote: we must be willing to pay any price and travel any distance to associate with extraordinary human beings in order to attract an extraordinary human being. Remember, law of attraction, we don't attract who we want, we attract who we are.
Powerful.
In order for us to attract that extraordinary human being, we must first be an extraordinary human being. And that's where we start figuring out a way to embellish ourselves and find our stories that are worth sharing because of the life lessons that we learned. So we go through content creation. We talk about this 8 elements of how to craft a Hall of Fame speech that listeners love. So we go through all the elements: outside introduction, why should I listen to you? Inside introduction, what's your first impression? What's your brand? The thesis, what are the benefits of listening to me? The structure, social proof, the stories, visual aid, data-based research proof, and the conclusion, call to action. So we have a structure. We also teach them how to find their signature story that no one else can tell, because it's that story that really molded them into the person they are today.
I love that.
So, and everything is about, and then we get into the platform skills. Oh yeah, punctuating pauses and gestures and all those skill sets, listening skills, but we don't promise that they're ever going to get a speech. The folks that I have, hundreds and hundreds of people I've coached, all have been able to become better leaders in their organizations. They were recognized with different leadership skills, sudden leadership skills, so they climbed the leadership ladder. They were given more responsibility. They became better spouses and significant others, became better lovers because their communication skills are so finely tuned, better parents, better coaches. So in my process of helping them become a professional speaker, they become the best human being they can possibly be. And once they have that speech in a position where they've practiced it and really feel comfortable in sharing their stories with the world, I will share my experience and all of my connections to help them get on the stages that they dream to get on, because I now know they're qualified. I'm throwing my reputation on the line that I've personally coached this person, and they are ready to take your stage by storm. And I'll back them up 100% because I've worked with them, I've listened to them, I've connected their passion, creativity, and imagination, and they are just amazing, eloquent communicators. So, yeah, speak like a pro. I guarantee the result. I guarantee it, and that's my passion. I don't want to create any more mediocre speakers and promise the world that they're going to be this amazing motivator for the rest of their life. That's the biggest bunch of crap.
100%.